Hey guys, it's Nate, aka TheFutAccountant. Welcome back to the channel. The first big Evo for the most meta card in FC26 seems to be in the works. Shall we say something is brewing for a Claudia Pina evolution because her price on the market has doubled in the last day, and that is no accident. The leak is not out yet for what evolution we could be getting. That might be dropping soon, but all we need to see is something moving on the market this much to know that something big is coming. We're going to talk about that today because Pina's cards are already cheap, so what is this Evo going to look like? Plus, it's a catch-up week this week in terms of content, guys. We've got so many different game modes to play still, a lot of SBCs to do, and with the most cards out of any promo I believe we've had this year in packs at the moment, with 2 full teams and still a winter best of, at least it rivals the Black Friday pack grind in terms of how many cards are in packs. It is a great week to be stocking up those packs, getting SBCs done, and gameplay objectives done. I think the content's going to slow down just a little bit, but we're still looking for new upgrade packs today and more player SBCs. Let's get into it, guys. If you're excited for it, drop a thumbs up on the video, hype the video, and subscribe if you are new. Now, let's get into the content yesterday on Sunday, where we had a bit of a confusing objective released with the new Winter Wildcards Tournament finale. Of course, you can only qualify for the finale by winning the regular Winter Wildcards Tournament, but this Winter Wildcards finale objective has nothing to do with winning. So if you win the tournament, you qualify for the finale, and then in the finale, you're not motivated to win at all. All you have to do is score in 5 separate matches and assist in 4 separate matches, all the while playing 4 and scoring in 6 separate games to get all of the rewards. Maybe EA is saying, okay, you've sweated enough in the first round of this tournament, so we don't need you to sweat for wins in the second round. But also, when we have these finales, this feels like the most competitive aspect of tournaments, so it feels like we should have some sort of competitive aspect and a win objective as a part of it, but that is not the case here. So that's a bit of an interesting one, because what we've seen before this year, like even during the early access, we had the first base tournament that qualified you when you won it for the finale, and then in that finale there was some more competitive sort of rewards as well based on wins. That is not the case here though. Now the rewards for this, if you do qualify for the finale, are actually kind of nice, and it actually takes the pressure off. If you win and go to the finale, then you're like, well, all I had to do is play this mode to get some decent packs, to get a Berardi with Finesse Plus, and a couple of evolutions. Like this Evo here gives Fullback Plus Plus and Jockey up to 7 playstyles on a max 86 right back without increasing the rating. So decent little Evo there. Interesting objective. I'm not even qualified for that tournament yet. I got to put in the work this week to get qualified for it if we can get there. But that was the first part of content yesterday that was a little off, just from what we're usually expecting from those finale tournaments. Now, let's go to Evos, where we had a solid Evo yesterday. That is my take on the Glacial Creator evolution here, because it boosts up one of the cards that I used a lot in the earlier stages of the game to a really good level. Now, this Evo gives Incisive Pass Plus and some solid boosts. It gives Striker Position as well, another position change evolution here. As we talked about in yesterday's video, the, Leveling Up Evo that we just had, leading the line. That's what it is. It gives the striker position. That's very, very good for Evo chains. Maybe this Glacial Creator Evo could help out with some chains in the future, depending on who goes into it. But the Incisive Pass Plus is the key. The stat boosts are very good. Skill moves get boosted. You get nice roll plus pluses as well. And you do get a couple more playstyles. Tiki Taka base and Press Proven base up to 7. This is yet again a good Evo as a final chain in a series. If there's a card who you have as a right mid who you've been boosting up, this would be a great end Evo to put a playstyle plus on them, or at least to get their stats up pretty high, specifically for Artiguler. Now, you don't want to put Artiguler straight into this Evo because you're probably going to get some playstyles that you necessarily don't need when you could get some better ones ahead of it, and that's the chain right now that a lot of people are doing with this card. With Artiguler, you put his base, center attack, and mid ratings reload card, which was one of the better SBCs from the beginning of this year. Definitely a card that has fallen behind that power curve in terms of where our teams are at, but now with the Passing Perfectionist giving him the Incisive, Tiki base, the Ping and Long Ball base, Frosty Dribbler upping that dribbling +1, maybe that's not worth it for you for 25,000 coins, so you could skip that one, and then going into the new Glacial Creator Evo for 40k, that's a good card. Like, that is a very, very good card. You add the striker position to him as well, so for future Evos, there's more potential upgrades there. That's just one of the good cards that does come out of this evolution. I do agree with some people, though, that don't like this evo in saying that 40,000 coins maybe is a bit much, and there is a bit of a limiting aspect to this as it's max 88 pace, and some of the playstyles that are given, maybe people don't love, like specifically the press proven. But, you know, Cherokee looks pretty good in this one, to be completely honest. Just his base gold card, still, of course, 5-star, 5-star. You give him the Tiki Taka base, that's all that he gets from this evo. But it's a stat boost that looks so good. Also, some really big evo boosts here for Ramirez. Ramirez, of course, going up crazy in price, almost doubling in value because he has the right mid position on this card. And if you want to make yourself a very solid box-to-box, who could play striker as well, this Ramirez looks crazy. He's got Tiki, Ping, Chip Shot, Slide Tackle, Press Proven, Relentless, Incisive. So maybe not the best playstyles that you would like to have on this card. Maybe, you know, an Anticipate you'd want to have too, but still solid. I mean, hey, that's a Ramirez card that looks very solid. Also, Quaresma goes into this evo as well, and he has gone from 250k up to 400,000 coins. So a lot of the time, you know, these evos that people don't like, or some people don't like, when you see prices moving on the market as much as that, there still is an aspect to this evo that it does create good cards, but based on the value, based on some of the requirements and limitations of this evo, some people definitely do not like it. But I don't think it's bad. It's not one of the most insane ones that we have had recently, but I think it is at least solid. Now, I want to mention one thing about evolutions. Of course, yesterday we talked about the Frosty Dribbler evo and how it wasn't giving rapid to Maradona and Pele, right? That example I was looking at here saying that these evos are glitched. It is a visual glitch. A lot of you guys notified me of this because you have done these evo chains. Still, I think that needs to be fixed because I'm sure there's plenty of people, myself included, that want to do these evos, and you know, evos are so important, and if you mess one up, then it's the worst feeling ever. You don't want to mess one up, and that's why we need to have these evos actually showing visual glitch, actual glitch or not. They need to be showing the correct thing in this. So I wanted to mention that because we talked about that for a good bit in yesterday's video. Now, let's go on to the rest of yesterday's content on Sunday with two SBCs that were interesting. One for a Winter Wildcards Challenge 4 here that we really won't talk about, but it's there, a little pack SBC. And an SBC that EA forgot. First of all, the Ledley King, former Spur SBC here, Intercept Plus, great defending playstyles, only missing the slide tackle, to be completely honest, for a defender, which is, you know, decent, but not necessary. Very good card, right? The rolls with Defender Plus Plus are good, and you look at his stats, and there's actually a bit of a problem with the stats here that maybe most people aren't seeing. You see 89 physical in the card, and you're like, whoa, that's pretty good. Look at his physical attributes, 99 strength, and then the rest of his stats are 81 rated and below. That 99 strength is really pulling up the overall physical stats of this card. I think that's a bit of a downside. You need an anchor for sure if you're going to run this card as a center back to boost up the aggression and the jumping. I think an anchor, maybe it does boost stamina, but it may not. But for sure, you definitely need at least an anchor there, or maybe a different chem style to boost up jumping and aggression, because those are a little bit low. Now, of course, the play styles are great, but on top of that, the price is not so great, which is why I believe this SBC is coming in at 76% downvoted with the Evo chains and even some of the center back Evos that we've had recently. Does this card at this price really make sense for most people? I may still do it because he's a Spurs player, but you're looking at the Cuti Romero Evo and the Van de Ven Evo that I'm trying to cook up right now. Both of those cards probably get in over this Ledley King. 85, 86, 86, 287, and then an 88 rated squad for 287,000 coins for King. It's just a little bit too pricey. Premier League Hero links, though, are very nice, and he's got the Intercept Plus. So do that one if you're super interested in it. I'm on the fence right now. I got to get some of the SBCs done still for like Bombito and some of those players. Even Emre Can, I'd like to get that card in the club before his SBC expires. So I'm trying to prioritize the stuff that's expiring the soonest first, and then we'll go on to some of those other SBCs later after that. Now, for the rest of content on yesterday's Sunday, we missed out on a player SBC, guys. If you look, Ella Toon is in game, but she's not actually in game. Her card is in concepts, but her SBC is nowhere to be found. EA basically dropped this card in game, and then they forgot to release the SBC. We believe this was supposed to be a part of the SBC content yesterday, and it wasn't actually released. Tiki Taka Plus, Finesse Shot, Incisive Base, Trickster Press Proven. If this is cheap, it actually could be a decent card. Only on the 3-star weak foot. That's not the best, but 92 dribble, 5-star skills, that is solid. So if you're looking in Footbin and you see Elatoon, or if you're looking in Concept, you're like, where's this card at? Well, EA hasn't dropped it yet, and I guess we'll just wait until they do, and then we'll see that card in the game. But the last SBC from yesterday was leaked ahead of time before content, and we thought we were getting a new hero player pick, and we did. The one of 4 87 plus base, scream, or primetime hero pick. This is the best hero pick that we have had so far this year. Definitely leveling up from a 1 of 3 to a 1 of 4, going to 87 plus, and including the UEFA primetime heroes. 85 with the team of the week, 86, and 87 rated squads. This is a 61% upvoted, only 100,000 coins to try hero pick. Do I love this SBC? No, I don't know, man. Hero picks for me this year, I've done a couple. They just really haven't panned out too much for me. I don't want to spend 100,000 coins in 3 squads of fodder on a player that might end up being an 87 rated fodder hero card, base hero. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a 1 of 4. I know you could get lucky. You could get yourself a crazy card like a Janola or a primetime hazard or something like that. But honestly, it's just not a risk that I'm willing to take right now with so many other guaranteed player SBCs out there. And again, if I'm going to take a gamble on a big upgrade pack like that, I'm doing an icon, because an icon just feels like it has such a higher ceiling of a card you could potentially pack. Like, imagine packing Janola as one of the best heroes. That's cool. That's great. But imagine packing Pele or R9 or Mia Hamm. That's even better. So that's why I would go for an icon right now. And that's why I haven't done too many of the hero picks this year, personally, especially for a guy like Ledley King, who would be a past and present Spurs that I would actually enjoy using. He's got an SBC, so I don't have to go do a hero pick to try to pack him. I could just go and do his SBC. Now, with the SBCs that we had yesterday, like we were talking about earlier in the weekend, investing in fodder for those sort of SBCs was a good idea. Fodder is to the moon. Not all of it. I still think there's one rating that's still investable here, but 88, 9,000 coins. Guys, you could still buy these yesterday on Sunday morning during squad battle rewards for under 8K, and now they're 9,000 coins. This was also helped out, I believe, by the icon pack refreshing yesterday, potentially the icon pick as well. I have not been doing those SBCs, so they still show for me as like messed up timers, because the timers sometimes on here do not add up to the correct time. It's just weird. But I believe the icon pack refreshed yesterday, and that definitely helped out fodder prices. If you have fodder, just keep on holding and just keep watching it rise, because for the next couple of days into Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even Thursday, but probably just Tuesday, Wednesday, we should see these prices go back up. Again, we were hoping that 88s would go up to 10K again. I think it's possible, especially because we're looking out for a big player of the month SBC at the end of the week. La Liga PLTM, Lamine Yamal, and Mbappe are in the voting. We're going to get that leak, I bet, pretty soon. And if Mbappe does win, even if Lamine Yamal wins, it's going to be an SBC that's expensive either way. I think some of the 88s, 89s could continue to rise. Now, the part of fodder that I do like still as an investment would be 85s, because those winter provisions packs are still out there. And if you take a look at these cards, even last week, they were down at 2.1K and they went to 3.2, down to 1.7 in the last couple of days, up to 2K now. If these cards go to 3,000 coins by the time we hit Tuesday or Wednesday, does it matter if you buy at 1.9 or 2.1K? No. If you want to get some of these at 2K, I think that's a good investment for a low budget. Put it on your transfer list. If you're not looking to trade and you just want to invest, I think you can absolutely do that. Now, let's talk about Evos for a second. Let's talk about the big news, honestly. It's content that is related to the market that has not been leaked yet, but it actually is. Guys, we're talking about this Claudia Pina potential Evo that is circulating out there. And I say it hasn't been leaked yet because if you take a look at Twitter, at least at the time of recording on this video, nobody has posted that Claudia Pina is going to fit an Evo soon. We don't know what sort of Evo this even could be, but when you look at her price in the market, it tells the whole story. She is almost 8,000 coins right now for her 86 rated card that yesterday started the day at 4.5K and is now doubled almost in value. There is absolutely something that is going on here. The Discords, the investors that have the leaks are active, which is never a good feeling, right? When you see stuff happen like this, you see the card go up in price, then you see it leaked. It's just the cycle that we're in right now in this game. We were talking about leaks a little bit again yesterday in the video. Since the leaks for the Time Warp promo were so early, it just becomes the leaks go earlier and earlier, and you see more and more how people are making coins off of those leaks and all that whole situation. It just doesn't leave us with a good feeling a lot of the times when you see that. But it's kind of the game that we live in. Until EA change something about it, nothing is going to happen. Now, granted, like we also talked about in yesterday's Evo, leaks can be a very good thing for preparation, for planning, for knowing and having some expectations for what is upcoming, like this Pina Evo. This must be the first legit Pina Evo of the year if her price is moving that much. Like, let's be honest, she fits some Evos right now. If we go to Footbin and click on the Evolution tab, you know, she fits some of the Evos that are coming later in the season pass. She also fits that Evo that gives her rapid base playstyle. This one right here that just came out a couple days ago, Frosty Dribbler, +1 dribbling, and it gives her rapid. Doesn't boost the overall, right? But this one must actually be a pretty good Evo if it's making her card go up this much. So that's legit. Now, what is this going to do to the game? Because Pina already is so cheap. You've got a Winter Wildcards, it's like 120K. You've got a Player of the Month version that so many people have already completed, myself included. You got the Cornerstones that people are waiting to evolve. You have so many people who even packed Pina in the last couple of days with both versions of the Winter Wildcards. Is this Pina Evo actually going to mean something? I think it is still, because this is her lowest rated card, the most easily obtainable item, especially for people who just got into the game and are hearing everything about Claudia Pina being the best player in FC26, so overpowered and all that. I think this Evo, if it gives pace, like that's the thing, if it gives pace and it gives maybe a playstyle or two, then it is going to be something that a lot of people will end up doing, even though so many of our other cards are affordable already. That's the one thing that I would say is like maybe a little bit sketchy with holding on to one of these Claudia Pinas. It just depends on how big the boost is. +6 pace and +3s and 4s all the way around. I mean, that's kind of similar to what we get evolution-wise in this game at the moment with some of the marquee Evos that we're getting. We're getting some stat boost into the high 80s, especially for pace. It just really depends on how this upgrade is going to look. And I think we'll get an idea on that whenever Foot Police and these guys on Twitter start posting the news and information about this evolution. Is it a striker Evo? Is it a left wing Evo? Because that would even change what the boosts are going to look like for this card. But personally, if I had one of these Winter Wildcard Pinas, I think if you have it tradable, you're already making some coins on it, you bought it for your team, I think it's okay to hold right now. And here's why. Because these are 5/5. What are the odds that she's going to go up to 85 pace and be 5-star, 5-star from this Evo? I don't think the odds are that great, but we'll just have to see. So I think it may be okay to hold both of these Pinas here. She could drop a little bit in price after the leak does come out, because that's going to be like the for real news when there is the leak of Claudia Pina fitting an evolution. Then maybe the Winter Wild cards would drop a little bit. So if you want to get out before that, you absolutely could. But then you got to think about it. Are those cards going to continue crashing if this Evo version is not as good as the Winter Wild cards? You know what I'm saying? So I do expect a leak very soon. Watch out for that. Maybe soon, as in like a couple hours after this video goes live. Maybe it's going to be later on down the line. The Evo could be anywhere between today and throughout the rest of the week. We really do not know. Now, also for this, if it's a max 86 striker or left wing Evo, watch out for some of the other striker left wing players. Like this Ole is actually kind of up in the last day or two. Like, I mean, didn't rise quite as crazy as Claudia Pina, but maybe there's some sort of situation here where this is a striker Evo and he could fit it as well. Get a pace boost, get a passing boost, get a skill move boost, and then, you know, you have yourself a nice card there as well. So that's one thing I would watch. And if this Evo actually is very, very good, then some of the other left wing and striker players, like I'm just using this Nico Williams for an example, could drop in value as well. It just depends on how good the Evo is, and we'll get hopefully a little bit of a grasp from that whenever it is leaked. But whenever Claudia Pina's card is going up on the market, we have to pay attention, because that means something is about to happen. With evolutions nowadays, because we're in the time and place in the game where 86 rated cards can be evolved. So we're watching out for that very closely. I know for a lot of us, it's like, wow, another Pina situation's going on here. Another time where her gold card's moving up in price. Well, we are yet to get a really big Evo for her card, and maybe this is the time that we do. Let's talk a little bit more about the market. Guys, if you invested, GG's, just keep on holding, because most prices are only going one way, and that is up. Even on the cards that are in packs right now. I want to check this Beckham price. Of course, we talked about investing in the best of over 86K, 20K a card. He's gone up in the last cup. What? Okay, that is way more than I was expecting. I did not realize his price was that high. We are making stonks on that card right there. And if you bought any of these Winter Wild cards from Team 2 or Team 3 or Team 1, you're making some stonks as well. The market is rising very nicely because nothing related to content right now really is making people panic. And so many people have coins and all, like we talked about on Saturday and even yesterday in the video on Sunday, that kind of the craziness of the Winter Wild Cards promo is like coming down. We're past that part of the promo, and now we're kind of headed out the other side into the next promo where the content is less crazy and there's less fear and there's less panic and there's still a lot of coins and a lot of people playing this game. So honestly, for most cards right now in the market, I think you're safe to hold. Or if you even haven't bought a player and you want to buy somebody from Team 2 or Team 3 of Impact's Winter Wild Cards, be my guest. Go and find a card. Like if you want to pick up Vieira, honestly, it doesn't look like he's going to go too much lower than this right now. The Vieira and the Henry, like Henry is still 1,000,000 coins, which is pretty crazy to me. But when you compare how many cards are on the market for Henry and Vieira to like Cruyff, Cruyff has so much more supply than these new Team 2 and Team 3 cards do, because there was a whole lot of saved packs that were opened for Team 1 of Winter Wild Cards last week, right? 2 weeks ago, technically. So in my opinion right now, I think it is okay to be buying players for your team. I even think you can think I can hold on to these players for a while and not have to worry, at least for a week or two, about their price. And that's a great thing on the market right now. So if there's anybody from teams 2 or 3, I would say go ahead and try to pick them up. Like look at Kevin De Bruyne. He's 225,000 coins. Yesterday started at 204, went to 220, back down to 208. He's still 220. And usually on Sunday nights into Mondays, cards get a bit low again. Maybe there's one more drop on the Winter Wild Cards today, later in the day on Monday, as Weekend League is ending. That could be a possibility, but honestly, the market's great right now. And if you want to make some coins, get on fluctuation trades. Buy low, sell high. Look at the flipping graphs on a daily basis and see how the cards are moving up and down. I'm still watching this Casillas very closely, hoping that he can go up to like 350,000 coins again after the Courtois SBC is looking like it's going to end soon. You know what? I didn't check Çalhanoğlu. How did Inter do yesterday? Because that's really the reason we bought his card. He's 37,000 coins. Did they score goals? They won 1-0. We needed 2 goals, man. We needed 2 goals. Okay, so he really didn't move that much. I also have a Saliba. I'm checking some of these prices in real time because I have not seen how they've done. Saliba's still kind of low. 320 for that card, I think, is a good investment. And then also, we got to look at Balde. A couple more cards here real quick. Balde is 70K, so he's up 10K per card. That's awesome. Anthony. I tweeted this out yesterday, but guys, as we were talking about over the weekend, investing in some of the cards that are in the best of, at least doing a club stock, this is why. Anthony went from 13K yesterday up to 26. He's still 17,000 coins right now at the moment, and he's still in packs. All of these Team 2, or sorry, the best of re-release cards that we talked about investing in are still in packs. Hopefully next week when they're out of packs, they can continue to rise higher in price. But for an 86 rated card like that Anthony, or maybe the Balde, you're just holding for Evos. You're really not in a hurry at all in terms of selling those cards. Those you can continue to hold. So as the market goes up, we make coins, and we absolutely love that. But get out there and trade. If you haven't been making any coins, or if you want to get involved and active in the market, look at out-of-pack special cards from like Thunderstruck promo, even Winter Wild Cards Team 1. Those cards just continue to rise. There are great opportunities to trade out there, get on the flipping graphs, and get active with those coins. Now, let's talk about content today on Monday. It's unfortunately not a gauntlet week, but actually maybe that's a fortunate thing, because there's a lot of gameplay right now to play. The Season 4 Gold Standard Cup, the Winter Wild Cards Exhibition, the Winter Wild Cards Tournament, and the Winter Wild Cards Tournament Finale are all out for us to play. Of course, you got Foot Champs and you got Rivals that is still out there as well. So it's a good time to be grinding the tournament and the live events, like I said, because there's so many cards and packs. All it takes is one pack, and you could get something sick. Now, for the part of content today they're really interested in, is the SBCs and the Evos. Now, Mondays always bring us upgrade packs. Will they bring the 78 plus player pick once again, or will they change it up? That's the number one question that I have, at least right now. I'd be so curious to know what they're going to do with that, because we've had the 78 plus player pick now a couple of weeks, I think. Maybe they'll go up to a 79. Also, they just went up in terms of another player in the hero player pick. Maybe they'll go up in like an upgrade pack as well. So instead of a 78 plus 1 of 3, maybe it'll be a 78 plus 1 of 4. That sort of situation we could be looking at too with a player pick today. I'm just doing one of these 85 times 2 packs right here. Because I got to get them done before the content drop today. But, of course, with the daily refreshes, we'll be doing 85 times 2s and the 82 by 10s since those are still out and available, which we absolutely love as a part of today's content too. But watch out for new player picks, and we're still waiting on a new player SBC, specifically the Ashley Cole SBC, which we have not gotten yet. But when we have all the leaked list of the SBC players kind of put in front of us here, Ashley Cole is definitely the next biggest. We've got like Galino, De Ketelera, and Baleba that are still leaked that we have not seen yet. But any of those could be fair game for today on Monday. Not expecting it to be a very crazy day, to be completely honest. Probably a player SBC, maybe 2, and then a upgrade pack, and that's probably about it. That's why I think it is a good time to be in and active on the market, and also a good time to catch up on some of those games that you might need to play. Let's open 2 or 3 of these 85 times 2s. Guys, my pack luck, I did 11 runs through of the League SBC over the weekend. 11 runs through it because I had so many silver cards in my club. And I packed Madueke Duplicate Winter Wildcards. That was my best pull. I did get some fodder. I just finished the Courtois SBC, which was nice. These 85s, which I wish I was getting higher than 85 rated, but at least these 85s and 85 2s can go into Winter Provisions packs. Holy cooked is my luck right now. There's another 85 rated set. Okay, I'm opening one more because there's no way I'm going to open all 4 85 by 2s and get only 85s. Okay, we get a Scream. Is that a Scream card? Thunderstruck. Cam. Portuguese Premier League. Bruno Fernandes. Cornerstones. Nice. At least that's fodder. At least that is fodder. I didn't get all 85s. I got all 85s except for an 88 Bruno Fernandes. So my pack luck still awaits. Hopefully we have a bit better pack luck today on the stream. We'll be opening more of our packs and getting involved with the daily grind, of course, but also we'll be getting some games in, and hopefully some objective packs will treat us nicer as we have another low-level, low-rated special card there with Matsukubo 83 rated. Anyways, guys, that's the video for today on Monday. Drop by the stream today. I'm excited to get back on and grinding. I did not play that much over the weekend as it was busy with family stuff for the holidays. So I'm super excited to get back into things today on Monday. If you want to tap in, we'll be live here on YouTube around the content drop and on Twitch as well. So if you're not following on Twitch, make sure you get followed up there. If you guys enjoyed today's video, drop a thumbs up on it. Comment down below if you have any questions. And of course, subscribe if you're new. Have a great Monday, and I'll see you guys on the stream. Peace out.